The first summit between Presidents Moon and Trump is seen as having gone well, with unexpected achievements on the North Korea nuclear issue. President Trump expressed his support for South Korea leading those efforts. And with that, Seoul is set to push for more dialogue with the North. Connie Kim has our top story.
The biggest achievement from the first face-to-face meeting between the liberal South Korean president and the conservative and unpredictable U.S. leader was getting Washington's support for Seoul to take the lead on the North Korea nuclear issue.
이번 정상회담을 통해 한반도 비핵화라는 공동의 목표를 평화로운 방식으로 풀어나가자고 합의했습니다. 또한 한반도의 문제를 우리가 대화를 통해 주도해 나갈 수 있도록 미국의 지지를 확보했습니다.
There had been concerns about whether the two sides would be able to coordinate their respective North Korea policies. President Moon's stance on Pyongyang was summarized in two phases: start with a nuclear freeze and end by shutting down the nuclear program. The Trump administration, meanwhile, focused on a policy of maximum pressure on the North, putting more emphasis on sanctions for the time being. However, to the surprise of many, the two leaders' joint statement said President Trump supports President Moon's aspiration to restart inter-Korean dialogue on issues including humanitarian affairs, raising hopes for a step forward in humanitarian exchanges with North Korea.
Well, it's going to talk about basic humanitarian issues such as supplying humanitarian assistance in terms of medical supplies, food assistance, probably in exchange for accelerating people-to-people exchanges between the two Koreas. One of the major objectives on the part of South Korean government is to speed up the reunion of separated families.
Experts say the humanitarian assistance given to the North must not overstep bounds set by international sanctions. And they say another thing to keep an eye on is North Korea's response. But at the same time, President Moon will have to find ways to work with China, a task that may be more complicated in light of his agreement with President Trump to boost trilateral cooperation alongside Tokyo. Connie Kim, Arirang News.